Hi, welcome in today. My name is Bryn and I work at the Cotton Patch. So today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite books that we have on our bookshelves. We have dozens of books that we have various, themes, patterns, topics, whatever you want to look at. We've got a book on the topic or several. So I wanted to look at several of our free motion quilting books today. First off, we have 25 Days to Better Machine Quilting. So this is by Lori Kennedy, and it's a really simple, hands-on book that I think would be great for anybody who's wanting to get into free motion quilting, but is wondering a lot of the steps to start out. So this book goes through exactly as it says, 25 lessons that you could do from day to day on free motion quilting. And it really lets you experiment each day with a different method. So, you start off the basics, organizing. We are starting from the top. And then you get into doodling, you get into kind of more of the fun designs. And then one of the pages in particular, it goes through your materials, which I think is where this book really shines. It goes through the thread, it goes through thread color, thread weight, it goes through the various materials, the various pens that you might be using on your pieces, and how they will affect, from their perspective, how they have had experience using those various materials in their free motion quilting, and how that might better help you. And you can experiment with them with these same methods as you go along in the lessons. So you are learning along with the book. And so you have that basis to then go off of in your free motion quilting and feel a lot more confident. Next up, we have 180 more doodle quilting designs. So this is for a more confident free motion quilter who has the basics down, but then, as we all have come to in our free motion quilting, you're looking for a design that fits the quilt that you are currently working on, and you're looking for inspiration. Now, it's great to look online and look at kind of pictures of what people have done, but this one really breaks it down in a great way. So it breaks it down into 3 sections. You have corners, large squares, and rows. So in that, it shows you where to start, the directions that you're taking things, and then how to fill out different size spaces. So I think that is where this book really shines, is allowing you to change various designs that you are looking at potentially using in a quilt and adapting them to the space that you have. This is another example that I think is done really well, where you have a sunflower and you have various components of that, and you can edit that into the space that you are looking to fill. So again, that is 180 more doodle quilting designs. And then finally, we have The Ultimate Guide to Free Motion Quilting with Angela Walters. So this one really is thick. It is a Bible. It really is the ultimate guide to free motion quilting. And I really like Angela Walters does some really great videos in general, so I would highly recommend checking out her series. And then she does a really great job in this book. Like the 25 Days to Better Machine Quilting, it goes through and it kind of does the basics for you, but this one really gets more into the next level of design and the next level of your free motion quilting. So it goes through and helps you. This is a great page, I think. It helps you design how you fill out the space with various designs, and it shows you her method for working through a large quilt with lots of negative space, and how you can best utilize that space to really bring out a whole lot of fun designs and just kind of in general play around with what you're working on. This is another really good example where she blocks out her designs and then breaks them down so that they're in manageable spaces, and then you can go from there in your free motion quilting. Then that is just the first half of the book. The second half of the book really focuses on the individual designs themselves, and step for step goes through how you develop those designs in different situations. So for this one, a little bit hard to see, but it's chain swirls, and she looks at it in how you could develop it linearly, how you could develop it with other designs. So in this one, they have a pebble design going through the middle of the swirls, and then also kind of a meandering overall swirl design. And I really think that this one fills out a lot of the areas that you know you touch on and you get to at the end of this book, and it kind of picks up where that one leaves off and really shows you the entire world of free motion quilting, which is really quite wonderful. And I love that we have all of these at the store. Again, I'm Bryn and I work at the Cotton Patch. And thank you for coming in today and taking a look with me at some of the books that we have.